Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today we watch a replay that starts off with an almost bad driving clip. Yep, almost. This is Carry Me More Please, and he sent this replay in, and he is in the Era 1 Premium Heavy, the Thrungva. Now, Era 1, I've titled this video Era 1 is the best, and this replay does demonstrate, in my opinion, that point exactly. Now, I will say straight away, I apologise for the quality of the footage. This replay had spikes of good quality followed by bad quality video. There wasn't much I could do about it, so I'm sorry. We'll just have to get through it. So, with that out of the way, Thrungva? Carry Me More is in the Thrungva on Mannheim. Now, this map is one that I've got a bit of a bone to pick with this map. The highway bridges here, the viaducts that we've got, the highway viaducts, they are bordered by these handrails, not quite sort of vehicle restraint barriers, but they're handrails, and for whatever reason you can shoot through some of them, or at one point in a game you can shoot through it, and then at another point in a game you can't shoot through it. I have no idea why Wargaming's made it that way, but it is incredibly frustrating, and I kind of wish they would fix it. So, yeah, maybe that's a feedback point that needs to be raised with them. But it's been this way for a little while, and I have no idea why. Anyway, Carry Me More is playing a very similar position to what I would choose to play. He's come to the 8-9 line, he's come to the southern viaduct, and he is playing it waiting for the enemy team to come along the far end. That is exactly the same strategy that I do, because from this position you could also shoot the hill at K6, which is high ground, and enemy tanks can get to that high ground. They can just drive along the southern map boundary, and you can get to that high ground, which provides you with a position to shoot down this piece of road. There goes his first clip. He penned all 3 shots, so we're on 1259 damage, which is, yeah, good start. This is a good start to the game. 1200 damage. Now, typically when I play this map, I am very much high ground focused. I will play this high ground. I will play the viaducts as much as I can, because, you know, high ground is, it's just tactically speaking, that's the word I'm looking for. Tactically speaking, high ground is the winning position. Not always, but most of the time, if you've got the high ground, you'll win. But he's abandoned the high ground now, which is something that I, like I said, wouldn't typically do. But he's done it for a very good reason. He's about to pop round the corner with a full clip, and he can slap this E3, well, 3 times. There goes one. There goes the second one. And the third one, is it the kill? Nope. That was a 2 marked E3 as well, so that wasn't... I'm surprised the 2 marked E3 got caught off guard like that. That's it's quite a feat to get. Well, the E3 is a very, very popular tank. Every new player gets one. There's a lot of people playing it. So that makes the marks harder to get. 2 marks, you're a good player. Surprised you got caught out, but hey, mistakes happen, don't they? Shot in the back by a Jagdpanzer 4.5, which is hiding somewhere in the tree line. There goes an FV variant. There's the Jagdpanzer. You can just about see it moving in the trees. Shoots it through the lamppost, and the 4.5 backs off. Ah, here we are. Here we have an FV107. And the FV107, man, it can be an absolute pest. But it can also be incredibly difficult to play, because that gun just doesn't pen everything. I'm looking at the IS-4. It can be very, very difficult to face off against an IS-4 and an IS-3 in some cases when you're in the 107. Now, Carry Me More is in what I would call a poor position. He's out of position. He's in the low ground. He's in the middle of the map, and it seems he's a little confused as to where to go. There's team to the north that look like they might need help because they've not moved from the cap, and if you've not moved from the cap, you might be a new player, so do you need to go back and help them? I don't know. Shot misses, so he's in the middle just trying to figure out what on earth to do, and that's when this FV107 shows up again, and there goes his last shot. He's getting peppered. 107 doesn't know where to shoot him. He pops his smoke at 16 seconds, which is just about good enough for the 15 seconds left. Well, the smoke lasts 15 seconds, and he's popped it at 16 seconds of reload. So when the smoke dissipates, he'll basically be reloaded. Now he's switched to the compass to figure out the direction of the 107. Once he's killed the 107, he pops back to the minimap. That's an interesting way of using the information available. He uses the compass to orientate himself when the FV107 is trying to find him in the smoke, and then he switches back to the minimap. I don't see that very often. I, for one, never switch between compass and minimap. I'm just always compass. Always compass. I'm always using the minimap. So to see that is again, it's nice to see how other people play this game. Different map positions, like Carry Me More Please is doing here. He's clearly playing the middle of the map, and he's holding the position very well. 4,500 damage, and he's switching between the compass and the minimap. This is enjoyable to see. It's nice to see the variation. Now, this is where the game really kicks off. This is where things start to get feisty, I think is the word you could use. It's 5 versus 6. 3 of his team are by the cap. They're all tank destroyers. He's retreating to the cap to support them, while the remaining medium, I don't know what the medium is, but it's down there on the K line. He's down there in K9 all by himself, so I would suspect that medium is the next tank to go on his team. But Carry Me More is making his way back to his cap to defend. And like I said, this is where things get feisty. So the title of this video when he sent it to me was Never Give Up. And I watched till here, and I thought, what's he talking about? Never give up. I haven't really seen anything yet that would suggest there was a fight that he could or he would or wouldn't give up on. But let's just see what happens here. So he's in a position to defend the cap, and the Thrungva has 12 degrees of gun depression. This is a fantastic position for the Thrungva because it can use that depression to its advantage, and it's got fantastic turret armor. Really, from a defensive position, this is very good, as long as the enemy team come from one direction and one direction only. M46 spotted on the northern highway viaduct. Shot goes out, but he misses. M46 isn't spotted. This is when the heavy shows up, and there you go. There's the heavy taking care of the medium, there's a heavy and a tank destroyer taking care of the medium on the K line. So this is 4 versus 6, but really soon to be 3 versus 6. Not good odds. Now we're starting to get an idea of why he said never give up. He's got 2 rounds in his clip, and I believe that's a 4005. And I think the 4005 just yes it did fluffed its shot. 4005 is a one shot. There is the Object 165, which is hiding behind the guardrail there. That's difficult shot, wasn't fully aimed. Last shot in the clip, so he's now reloading. This is where an E3 shows up. This is where an E3 shows up behind him. And he's in the middle of a reload. So he's got enemy to his tank front, enemy to his tank rear. This is a sticky situation. And it's 3 versus 6. It's 2-to-1 odds, not in his favour. Alright, Jagdpanzer 4.5 on his team has levelled it somewhat, taken out the E3 that was behind them. Carry Me More is checking this side because the 165 was there was a 4005 there, and I believe the M46 is also still there, so there's 3 known targets this way. Taking down the trees to improve cover, break lines of sight, which is, again, sensible play. 4005 thinking better of it. He is a one-shot, he knows it, and he's got a long aim time on that gun, so he can't really risk it. M46 shows up in front of him, snapshot, there goes the M46. And this is when the other Jagdpanzer 4.5 shows up. Pop smoke, snapshot misses. That's when... oh my goodness, I'm struggling to I'm struggling to keep up. 4005 goes to a snapshot. Ah, right. 4.5 is in the cap. He's in the smoke. Wait for the smoke to disappear. He's left the cap. 10 seconds on the reload. What's it going to be? Where's he going to be? Right, that means the 4.5 is behind him. The 4.5 is behind him, spotting him. There's the reload. 3 shots in the clip. Looking to the left for the 165, who turns out the 165's moved. 165's not paying attention. Smashes into a wreck. Slows down. 1 shot in. There's the kill. Now, we've gone from 2 to 1 odds. Not in Carry's favour. Now, it's 3 versus 2. Much better odds. The Jagdpanzer 4.5 was here, but seems to have disappeared somewhere else. Now it's a case of just waiting for the heavy, the remaining heavy, which is an IS-4, to appear. Speak of the devil, there he is. Armor-piercing shots are loaded. Waiting for the aim, shooting through the trees. He's not spotted. Top plate slightly angled as the IS-4 backs up. Is reversing up the ramp to the viaduct. 2 shots pen, 3rd shot doesn't. Jagdpanzer 4.5 makes the hit, and the 4005 makes the final shot that takes out the IS-4. And then the remainder of this game was essentially driving around looking for the Jagdpanzer 4.5. Carry Me More did get spotted once, but the Jagdpanzer 4.5 scuttled off, disappeared. And he pings good game. That was a good game. And the timer runs out for the full 15 minutes. And that, right there, this game is a demonstration of why I think Era 1 is the best right now. Quality gameplay, fighting it out right down to the very last minute. Absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love Era 1 for that reason. The game, I know it's full of new players. Can't be helped, but even so, tactical gameplay can be found at the lowest level of Cold War. And they've introduced this new heavy, which hasn't broken Era 1. It's balanced, it's wonderful vehicle. Yeah, what can I say? Era 1, I absolutely love it, and that game for me was a demonstration of why Era 1 is so good. So there you go, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, if not a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.